This is an Ultrasabers Grandmaster Lightsaber Hilt. It's a Satil Shan inspired hilt design. It's about 13 inches long and 1.6 inches in diameter. Now let's take a bit of a closer look at some of the more specific design features of this hilt. We'll start at the top. So in the top we have the emitter area, and the emitter area is divided into threes. So there are kind of these three fins around the entire emitter area, and then in each section, kind of divided by the fins, is three windows. So you have these three staggered windows. They're sort of rounded off in design, and that looks pretty cool. They're very attractive windows. Now, one thing to definitely consider with this specific hilt design, though, you guys, is the socket depth. So you'll notice that it's quite deep from the emitter to the bottom of the lower windows. So it's about 3 inches from the bottom of the window up to the top of the emitter area. What does that mean? Well, that means you're probably going to want longer blade plugs if you plan on using a blade plug with this hilt. Also, if you're considering getting a non-standard blade, like a Ripper Blades type of flat acrylic blade, you'll want to have a longer blade tang or stem so that it kind of fills this area in. So just keep that in mind with this specific hilt design. There's a little bit of a taper here. You can't really use it as, a choke point, though, because it has these kind of cylindrical things blocking the way. But anyway, it does look kind of cool. Now moving down, we have the AV switch area here, and then finally, this is definitely the most memorable section of the entire hilt. It's this engraved kind of grip area. So we can look at some of the details of the engraving. It has a very hand-done sort of look to it. And the line depth and kind of width is consistent throughout the hilt, so there's not really variation to that. It sort of reminds me of as if somebody kind of did all this on paper and then just wrapped it around the hilt. That's kind of what the appearance looks like. It also reminds me a bit of Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night. So I don't know if you guys see that too, but that's one of the first thoughts that I had for some reason. But at any rate, so it is kind of neat engraving, and it's sort of neat to just look at all these different little patterns, the ways the lines go and loop around in this engraved hilt. And I know it's in the saber community, it seems like people either love or hate the engraving of this hilt. So make your own decision with that. I think it's kind of neat. But at the very bottom of the pommel, we have another series of 3. So there seems to be a lot of 3s in this hilt. You have 3 kind of vents on the pommel, and they're in this sort of swirly pattern. Of course, a lot of people getting this hilt, they're going to want to get 2 of these to make a saber staff, kind of a double-bladed lightsaber, since the character Satil Shan uses a double-bladed lightsaber. You're able to do that. This is an MHS-compatible pommel, so all you need to do is get an MHS-compatible coupler to join the 2 saber hilts. You can get those from Ultrasabers. They have a bunch of different types in their store. And then the Custom Saber Shop also has a bunch of MHS V1 kind of extenders, or what do they call them? Extension pieces, rather, and couplers and that type of stuff that you could use to join the 2 hilts as well. So here's just a little bit of a look at the pommel. Anyway, other than that, that's pretty much a quick summary of this hilt. Feel free to comment below. I'm going to try to get this pommel back onto the hilt. This is an Ultrasabers Grandmaster, and this is a very new release from Ultrasabers. Oh, last thing I should say, you guys, is there are a few different color options. So I got the black. That just means this whole grip section is black. There's also red, gold, and blue options available. And that's about it now. Okay, anyway, feel free to comment below.